We will now complete the Parent Demographics and Financials section of the FAFSA. This page asks you about the marital status of your parents. If they were never married, the date field will be blocked out. If they were married or remarried, you will enter the month and year that they got married. This page is about the personal information for your parents. Here it will ask you for the Social Security number and email address for Parent 1. If Parent 1 does not have a Social Security number, you will put in all zeros. It will ask you for your parents' last name and first letter of their first name. Then you will provide the date of birth for Parent 1. Finally, you will be asked for your parents' email address. Then you will re-enter your parents' email address. Next, it will ask you to input the Social Security number for Parent 2 if applicable. Students who marked Parent 1 as single, divorced, or widowed do not need to provide information for a second parent. If your parent is remarried, this will be the information for your step-parent. If Parent 2 does not have a Social Security number, remember to put in all zeros. You will then enter your parent's last name and their first initial, and your second parent's date of birth. This page asks for your parents' legal state of residence and if they became residents of that state before January 1st, 2016. Here you will be asked about your parents' household size. The form will automatically include you and your parents. Be sure to include any of your parents' other children that they will provide more than 50% of the financial support for, even if they don't live with your parents. Finally, include any dependents that live with your parents who they provide more than 50% of the financial support for and will continue to support financially throughout the school year. Lastly, it asks how many people in the household will be attending college. You will always include yourself in that number. The Parent Tax Filing Status page asks if your parents have filed taxes for the year 2019. They will select their answers from the drop-down menu. Then they will select what kind of tax return they have completed for 2019. Next, they will input what their tax filing status was in 2019. Sometimes the parent may have the option to link their tax information directly from the IRS to the FAFSA. To do this, they will click on the Link to IRS Data Retrieval tool and follow the instructions. If they cannot link their taxes using the IRS Data Retrieval tool, a message will appear to explain that due to the information provided, they are not able to use the tool. Please note that the Data Retrieval tool will ask for the address that was listed on your taxes. They will need to enter their name and address exactly as it appears on their tax return, or they may not be able to link. Some common errors include using abbreviations for court, street, road, etc., providing the name of the wrong parent, or writing out apartment before the apartment number. If you have one of these errors, you can enter the information again. If they do not use the data retrieval tool, they will be asked to manually enter their tax information. We will show you the manual process. If you use the data retrieval tool to link your parents' tax information, you may move on to the student financials video. The next page is parent income from work. Next, you are asked how much both Parent 1 and Parent 2 earned from working in 2019. You will use your parents' W-2s to input how much each of them made. You can find this in box 1 on the W-2s. The next sections are determined by your parents' income information. How much information you are asked to provide will vary, but the questions will appear as outlined next. If a box is grayed out, you can simply move on to the next box. This question asks the amount of income tax your parents paid for 2019. This can be found on IRS 1040 form, line 14, minus Schedule 2, line 2. If you do not have a Schedule 2, or if line 2 on your Schedule 2 is blank, you can just use line 14 on your 1040. This page asks about any other benefits your parents may have received in 2019. The first question asks about combat pay or special combat pay. The next question asks for student college grants and scholarships reported to the IRS in your parents' income. This includes AmeriCorps benefits, as well as grants and scholarships and portions of fellowships and assistantships. Next, it asks about education credits, such as the American Opportunity Tax Credit or Lifetime Learning Tax Credit from IRS 1040. Next, it asks about education credits, such as the American Opportunity Tax Credit or Lifetime Learning Tax Credit from IRS Form 1040, Schedule 3, Line 3. Next, you'll be asked about untaxed portions of IRA distributions and pensions. This can be found on IRS 1040, lines 4A plus 4C minus 4B plus 4D. You will next be asked about IRA deductions and payments to self-employed SEP, Simple, COG, and other qualified plans from IRS Form 1040, Schedule 1, total of lines 15 and 19. Finally, you will be asked about tax-exempt interest from IRS Form 1040, line 2A. If all of the answers are 0 and they did not receive any of these benefits, please leave them as zeros and select Next. The next page will ask if your parents have any of the following items in 2019. The first item is child support your parents paid because of divorce or separation or as a result of legal requirement. Next, it will ask if there are earnings from work under a cooperative education program offered by a college. And finally, taxable earnings from need-based employment programs such as federal work study and need-based employment portions of fellowships and assistantships. If none of these apply, leave them as zeros and press Next. The next portion of parent information will be about parent untaxed income. This section asks if your parents received any of the following: child support, housing, food, and other living allowances paid to members of the clergy, military, and others, payments to tax-deferred pensions and retirement savings plans paid directly or withheld from earnings, veterans' non-education benefits such as disability, death, pension, or dependency and indemnity compensation, and or VA educational work-study allowances. Veterans' non-education benefits such as disability, death pension, or dependency and indemnity compensation, and or VA educational work-study allowances. Other untaxed income not reported, such as workers' compensation, disability benefits, etc. If none of these apply, you can leave them as zeros and select Next. Finally, it will ask for your parents' asset information. The first question asks the amount of money in cash, savings, and checking accounts. Next, it will ask, as of today, what the net worth of your parents' investments, including real estate, are, but not including your parents' home. The final question is the net worth of your parents' businesses or farms. Do not include a family farm or business that employs less than 100 full-time employees or full-time equivalent employees. This concludes the Parent Financials video. You may move on to the Student Financials video for further assistance.